Well, good morning. At least I think it's still morning. Yeah, it is. Another beautiful day here in Meadview, Arizona, northwestern part of Arizona. And welcome back to another video for Desert Life and Adventures. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Of course, the videos are different, right? That's why it's called Desert Life and Adventures. We video whatever we're doing. But today, we're a little different. We're getting ready to go to a car show tomorrow. So I got the top off. Got my soft top on. Got my tonneau cover on. I just spent yesterday cleaning it up and prettying it up a little bit. It kind of got neglected here the last couple years since we moved from Colorado. Sat out here in the sun and the heat, and paint got a little oxidized, but been some things I've been working on doing to it. So yesterday we got her in here, got her cleaned up. Still got a little bit of polishing to do here on the hood, get some of that oxidized paint off, but we splashed a little paint on the rock sliders. Probably kind of hard to see in there, but sprayed in some more undercoating front and rear. Splashed a little paint on the front bumper. Cleaned up the doors, cleaned up my tonneau cover, my soft top. Finally got my custom fabricated spare tire carrier done. That's the last thing I had to do to it was put this here latch on it. And a little bit of an ordeal trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. My son actually started building this spare tire carrier probably, oh man, I'm going to say probably 10 years ago. Maybe not that long, but it's been a while. And I finally was able to order parts, got my garage going, got in here, got it welded up, all ready to go. I had to make it beefy because this thing has got 36-inch super swampers on it, so the got to be able to hold that spare. I cheated. I backed the side-by-side up to it and took it off so I could paint it and everything. I really don't feel like lifting that high to put that thing on there, so I'll be able to just back up to it and put it back on there. Little history behind this thing. I'll post a picture of it. I bought this, I believe, in 2012 or 2013 for $600. My kid bugged me. He had a Jeep, and he bugged me to get one to go Jeeping, and I never did. So he just went and bought it, and he let me make payments on it. So then I spent pretty much the better part of 3 winters completely frame off restoration. This is made from 3 different Jeeps, the original, and then I bought a wrecked one that was already set up for spring over. So this does have spring over suspension on it, front and rear. Then I bought another one that had it was a rolling chassis. It had a transmission transfer case. Basically what I used out of it was the engine. And it's a standard inline 6, and I think it's actually out of a late 70s model because the valve cover that was on my newer one would not fit. I had to use the original valve cover, and buy a different gasket and stuff. And so we got lockers front and rear. They're just lunchbox lockers. I come onto a deal on Facebook Marketplace one day. A guy was selling those, already set up for spring over. Already have the lockers. I believe I got 2 sets of gears. I got to go double check. I think I got a set of 488s. 5, hang on, I think I got them sitting here somewhere. I can check and see what they was. Nope, they might not be. I may not have moved them down here yet. I'll put it in the somewhere in the video what gears I got for it. Anyhow, it's pretty low geared. That's one of the reasons I went with the bigger tires, trying to get my gearing up a little bit. It originally had the regular CJ7 fenders. I like that flat fender look. My son made a set of tube fenders for his, and so I bought these and put on it. Got the rear extenders as well. Let's see, what have I done to this? It's got Rubicon Express 1.5 lift YJ springs. I went ahead and done the YJ conversion, basically because your rears on the CJ and the YJ are the same length, but in the front, you actually have to take a rivet out and you take a rear mount off the rear springs hanger, and you have to move that forward to another hole. So we got Rubicon Express, 1.5 lift springs. I did go ahead and put a 1-inch body lift on it, which I'm glad I did. It's not overly done. Maybe that's a 2-inch body lift. Anyhow, it makes it nice to get in there and work on stuff, clean stuff up, and it doesn't make it tippy. I got J&B Customs twin stick. I've got Rocky Mountain off-road high steer kit that I've put on it. M8000 Warn winch. Like I say, I over the winter, completely redone this thing. The first winter, basically, I redone the body. And I might throw some pictures in the video, but basically, every one of these panels needed work. Some patch panels put in. Like I say, I'll throw in some pictures of what it looked like before and after. Then the second winter, I had picked up the wrecked one, and basically the frame on it was better than mine. So I stripped it, cleared down to the frame, took the frame in, got it sandblasted, hit it all good with self-etching primer, repainted it. That frame, I've done nothing, no touch up on it since I put it in there back in probably 2014. Let's see, what else did I do to it? So many things it's hard to remember now. Like I said, I did all the body work, put all the armor on it. I have $300 worth of stainless bolts, all nut zerted. New seats, new carpet, completely redone the dash, all of that stuff in there. What's your problem? You want to be on the video? Redone the taillights, new seats. I got Corbeau 3-point harness in this thing, and if you're looking for a better setup for your for a harness. It's pretty slick. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Basically, you mount, see it there? Yeah. You mount that part there, and it will actually come loose. A lot of times I got to take it loose to get that seat to go forward. And then you can just use your regular seat belt mounting holes, and I really like them. The seats are what did I get? These are rugged ridge seats. Man, they're comfortable. The only issue I run into, because I am especially when I was in Colorado, we do a lot of snow wheeling. I was in and out of it a lot. So these bolsters here, especially on the driver's side, tend to take a little bit of wear. What else have I done? Put a Heim joint clutch linkage in it. I was having trouble with the clutch linkage coming apart. Some things I still got to do. I've actually, this will be the third set of differentials, axles I've put in it. And I still got some work to do on it. You can see that one's got the skid plate on it, but a couple things I have not done to these that I had on my first ones, and I've got all the parts to do it now that I got my garage. I'll get back on it, but I have to weld the tubes. I've got a truss that I'll truss it with, and then when I do that, I've got to put my anti-wrap bar back on it, and maybe we'll do some videos of when I do those things and kind of go through it. The wrecked one that I bought, I bought it for like $400. Body was pretty much trashed, but man, I got some good parts off of it. I ended up being able to, with this one, ended up with tilt column, ended up with power steering, power brakes, all off of it. I've changed my shackles a couple of times. These are, I had boomerang shackles on originally, and don't recommend them. It makes it wander pretty good. I think these are Curry shackles on it. But so yeah, we're just gonna finish getting this hood polished up. You can see where I put some stuff on it last night. Basically, I am using, well, I started off with WD-40, and mainly because I had some sap on it, apparently from when I lived in Colorado, and so I was taking it off, getting rid of that sap. Those are actually chips, and man, I noticed it was taking the oxidized paint off, so I pretty much went over it with that. And then I got looking at my cabinet, and I had this one-step color back, and I started using that on the hood last night. And yeah, it takes that oxidized paint off really well. You can see just that's what I put on last night, and you can see that shine there when you get that oxidized paint off. This was just a single stage. I don't even remember what I used. It was an Eastwood paint. I actually got it all prepped and everything. I worked in a body shop years ago, so had a lot of sanding. And then my son, who had never run a spray gun, he shot this thing. And so that was probably, I'm gonna say that was 2013. And you can see, I mean, there's a few spots, you know, typical CJ, you start getting in these seams and where your door mounts are, you'll get some rust popping through for some reason. But this was his first paint job, first thing he ever sprayed, and it's still holding up good. So we're gonna finish a little polishing today, get the spare tire back on. Probably got to vacuum the inside. I'm not going to get too carried away with it, but yeah, the dog hair tends to accumulate on that carpet. Been vacuumed a couple of times, but not for a while. What else we got to do? Oh, so it's got, my son custom fabricated this rear bumper. He fabricated these rock sliders. Got a little step or insert there. I seen them in some off-road catalog was for sale. And I showed him to him, said, yeah, I'm going to buy these. And he said, he said, I can make those. He said, you buy the steel, I'll make them. And yeah, they turned out pretty good. And they're actually, you probably can't see it. Yeah, maybe you can. We used receiver hitch tubing. So if the need ever arose, which I hope it don't, we could actually pull that rock slider on either side and put a recovery point in there and use it, turn it back over if we needed to. I've seen something else here I wanted to mention that I don't remember what it was, but the other thing I've got, this has, oh, I don't remember what brand. Looks like there's Super Winch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolt hubs on it. And I actually saved the hubs off of the original ones, I believe. And I've got those, I can change those over, and I've got the original worn hubs that was originally on it. So I'll be putting those on one of these days. I'm sure there's things I'm forgetting here, like say 3 different winters of completely redoing this thing from the ground up. And Colorado, one of the things I miss about Colorado, I love the desert here, but one of the things I miss about Colorado is the snow wheeling. We'd go out and typically, you know, we'd go out Thanksgiving time, get our Christmas tree and stuff in the snow. But then about April, we'd go out and do some late night snow wheeling, air down, and I mean literally driving on top of 5-6 feet of snow. Pretty incredible. So I'm gonna put you guys down here for a little bit. Not gonna film any of it, just boring cleanup, etc. And see what we can get done. So I had to open the hood here quick for something else, and just thought I'd show you. So this has the inline 6. We completely went through it, rebuilt it, but one of the things it does have, so this has and I don't know if you can see it there or not, but it says Clifford 6 = 8. So basically, this has the aluminum intake, has a mild cam, and headers. And so if you've never heard of Clifford Clifford was an aerospace engineer, and when he retired, he got into high performance parts for inline sixes. Well, my brother-in-law, he's the one that I got the roller frame from, and like I say, it had the radiator, engine, transmission, transfer case, front and rear ends, and after I was partway done with this project, I thought it would be kind of cool to gather up parts and make a 4-door CJ. So I had him watching for parts for me, and he called me one day and he said, "Hey, I got this Jeep frame up this guy's house." He said, "Go check it out." He said, "I'll take like $20 for it." So I went up there and looked at it, and yeah, I didn't know who Clifford was at the time either, but I seen that aluminum intake and those headers, and I went, yeah, I can do this deal. And so I called my son. I don't remember if I drug it down or if he ran up there. He said, "We got to get that." So we run up there and got it drugged down to my house, and he's pretty whiz at mechanics, and I mean, in a matter of about 15 minutes, he had a battery out there, had some kind of fuel jug, and actually fired the thing off. And so then I researched Clifford and found out what it was all about. Well, that intake, cam, and headers at that time cost about $1,200. And so I didn't tell my brother-in-law. I just one day caught him on the street and handed him a $100 bill. And he said, "What's that for?" And I said, "Just take it, don't worry about it." So I got that $1,200 worth of stuff for $100. And what it is, so that increases the output on these inline sixes by, I believe it was like 62%. That's why they call it 6 = 8, because it changes these inline sixes to where they put out the power of a V8. So, and then the other thing I checked, I'm pretty sure when I got this front end, rear end, they had, I got a set of 488s and a set of 456 gears in it. And so I believe it's got the 488s in it now, and it's got the one-piece rear axle. So, like I say, still got to do my minor modifications, tubing the axles, or welding the tubes, putting my truss on, get my anti-wrap bar back on, and we'll be back good to go. And like I say, haven't done a whole lot with it here. You know, it snowed once or twice where it had enough I could get out and play in it. Went down and played in the washes one day when the monsoons were running, and the washes down here were running not real high, pretty good. I know, but as a 38-year firefighter, I'm used to taking some calculated risks in life, and I went and played with it a little bit, but I even know what I was getting, the other thing I was going to tell you guys. So if you'll notice, there's no shocks on it, and there's not even a mount on this side. Because basically what I'm doing, I have shock mounts off of a not even sure what year, probably, I got 2 different ones. I'm still trying to decide which ones. But anyhow, I have front shock mounts off of a Ford Super Duty. And because one thing I never did when I put the lift and all that stuff on here was put new shocks on it. And so they were pretty much extended, and after blowing a couple of them out, I decided, okay, time to change. So that is one thing I started working on. Of course, I was out in the gravel and rolling around in the sand and stuff. Now that I've got a shop here, I'll get back on that. I'll get my new mounts mounted up, welded on, etc. And then I'll take it out here somewhere. Got a couple different ways. I don't have force for my forklift, or for my backhoe, but I will figure out a way to flex and get my measurements for my ride height, and then full flex and full stuff, and give me some shocks ordered. Right now it's a little squirrely going down the road with no shocks. My truck, when it was down with the rodent wire damage, I've actually got about a 1 foot drop hitch on there, because this is how I hauled my water when my truck was down. And unfortunately, I only got to go about a mile and a half to the water station, all gravel roads. And so I was able to use it in that emergency. And but I'm gonna get back to polishing and cleaning up on this thing. I'll probably do a short video once I get it ready and load it on the trailer. It's about 10 miles to go into the Meadview Car Show tomorrow. They're having Octoberfest. I'm part of a local car club here that's got started up, and they called us earlier in the year and wanted to know if we'd do a car show for Octoberfest, and the proceeds are going to help out the VFW and I believe the Meadview Civic Association. So didn't have my old car done yet. Hopefully by this time next year I'll have it ready to go to some shows. So first time the guy said, hey, bring what you want. Bring your side-by-side, bring your Jeep, whatever. So we decided we're going to take the CJ in there, and we do that tomorrow. I'll take you guys along for the ride and show you a little bit of the car show and the festivities going on tomorrow. So we'll... Okay, we're back. Here you go. Got her cleaned up. Got to run in and get a can of gas. My gas gauge don't work. I don't know when I put gas in it last. It's been a while. What's in there is a little bit old, so I'll get some good stuff and put in her and get her loaded on the trailer and ready for the car show tomorrow. Okay, so here we are out here at the Octoberfest in Meadview. Gonna do a little walk through the car show here. First time ever for the car show, and got a pretty good turnout. Sorry about the wind, but yeah, we'll take you up through here and show you what's going on with the car show, and then we'll go see what else is going on around here for festivities. So come on along.